Happy Wednesday, Terrika, and welcome to the WNBA on NBC. I'm so glad that you could join me today to discuss the Portland Fire getting their first win of the season. I mean, it's their second game, but first win of the season as an expansion team. Now, look, we had a Portland Fire before, but they haven't been in the league for a while, so they're back. They get their second win against the New York Liberty. I mean, come on. We got to give them some props and respect. What a great way. What a great opening week for the 30th anniversary season of the W. I mean, come on, Terrika.
God. It was incredible. And I was like kind of cleaning as I was watching the game. And I didn't finish cleaning what I was cleaning until like almost midnight, because by the time the third quarter came around, I was completely set for this game. Like, I could not move for this game. It was that good. So I'm excited to see Portland finally come back with a vengeance.
For sure. And the way that they won the game, right, on the Sarah Ashley Barker game winner, I mean, because they would have been headed to overtime, right? And so, I mean, look at that. This is great.
Amazing. I screamed. First off, let me say, I think you and I are aligned here when it comes to we love defense, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people love a good high-scoring offensive game, but we love defense. And I was so impressed at Sarah Ashley Barker. First of all, it's only her second year in the league. It's her first year, obviously, here in Portland, but second year in the league. And to have the awareness, the court awareness, to lock in and still box out and move from one side of the court to the other, because Sarah Ashley was not over there at all when that shot went up. Most people, I think, would have just said, cool, no worries. I mean, maybe a light box out. We're going to OT. For her to literally lock in and say, no, I'm not going to just give up. Like, I was so impressed by that from such a young player. And then to see her emotions post-game, it was amazing. So I love the finish.
For sure. And like, look, it was a great team win, but it starts with Bridget Carlton, right? Like, I mean, she was tremendous last night, and we have to give her some props. And, you know, I mean, look at these numbers, 26, 5, and 4. Look, she's one of the $1 million players in the league, and those are $1 million player numbers that she put up yesterday, right? And I bring that up just because, one, it's a fun story, but also, like, when Bridget got her contract, she was definitely one of the players who people were like, what? Bridget Carlton, you know? And so, like, look, you know, like, I think one of the things that expansion teams has showed us is that there are a lot of players who are ready, who can be better, who can do more for a team. The Valks, I mean, we saw it last year with Kayla Thornton becoming an all-star and Veronica Burton, you know, winning MIP, and she could potentially be an all-star this year, right? Like, these players have been on teams and they haven't necessarily had the opportunity, you know, to show everything, you know, to showcase everything that they have. And the Portland Fire said, look, Bridget's our girl, and they awarded her with that contract, and she's delivering for them. And even though they lost their first game of the season, right, they were competitive in that game. The final score doesn't really reflect how competitive that game was. And then, like, hello, their home court advantage. I mean, you know, so they set a record with their very first game, right? Over 19,000. They topped what the Valkyries did just last year. Sold out 19,335 people in attendance, Terrika, for the very first game. I mean, look, the Valkyries started a standard, and these new expansion teams, in my opinion, are continuing it, Terrika.
100%. And, you know, I was having a conversation with my partner in crime, Brendan Glasheen, who I do Connecticut Sun games with. And we were talking about how home court advantage had always just been a thing that people said because you playing at home. But home court advantage is about to have a completely different feel now, because these players are playing in front of crowds of 20,000 people. I mean, we saw it in Unrivaled. We're seeing it here in the WNBA, and it is incredible for the league. Like, they are truly, like, these fans are loud. They were loud in the Motor Center, and they were loud in game one in the Motor Center, and it was a great atmosphere. You're seeing new traditions from these expansion teams, where now there's a tradition where the players will give away roses to fans at the end of wins. Like, these are all things that are like really helping to generate connectivity between the fans and the players. And so home court advantage is going to feel real different now, the way that these crowds and these people are showing up to support. But to your point about Bridget Carleton, when this team was being drafted, I said this is going to be a team that's going to really look like they want to hold it down defensively. I looked at a Bridget Carleton. I looked at a Emily Ingsler. I was like, this is a team that, to me, and again, a Sarah Ashley Barker. And I was like, I'm feeling that there's a defensive trend. And I think last night they did a great job of displaying that as well. Of course, when you're playing a New York team and you've got scores like a JJ and a Stewie, I mean, that makes sense to me. But I think, and I can't forget an Astier, because she's been playing incredible. But I just think that this team, Portland, is doing a great job of trying to solidify a foundational identity. And that's really important for an expansion franchise, even one that's returning and re-debuting. As we know, the Portland Fire were here before. But I think it's important to establish an identity early. And I think that they've been doing that over the last couple of days. So now where teams are going in to play Portland, or if Portland's coming to their home where they haven't played on the road yet. But I think teams are going to know, we can expect a huge defensive effort from the players that we're going to be seeing in this Portland Fire uniform.
For sure. Listen, I'm impressed. Call me impressed. And they're going to be playing the New York Liberty again later this week. I believe on Thursday. Is it Thursday or Friday? They're like, yeah, but they're playing again. And so I'm sure New York is looking to get back. But congratulations to the Portland Fire on winning your first game since returning to the league. And so, look, the New York Liberty, I'm sure they did not want to lose that game. Breanna Stewart, post-game, talked about the fact that she was not pleased with their defense. But at the end of the day, they're 2-1. They have been without Sabrina Ionescu to start the season. So considering that you're missing one of your best players, they're still off to a great start. And look, Breanna Stewart, I just have to say, she's been playing great, right? And I think this year she is going to be in the MVP conversation. I think it's like when we talked about Unrivaled, and you mentioned how like you picked the Mist, her team, to win, and you were like, you just think Breanna Stewart's going to have something to say about it. This is the first time in a long time she's been healthy. Mm-hmm. Her Unrivaled team won a championship. She went overseas and won a championship. I don't know that the Liberty, I don't know if they will win a championship, but, we project them as a contender. But, she has just had a sensational season to start. I just want to read some numbers to you, okay? Versus the Sun, she had a double-double. That was the opening game of the season, okay? And she had 31 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. She shot 10 of 17 from the field. She had a double-double again last night, even though it was a losing effort, 16 points, 10 rebounds. She had 23 points against the Mystics, and on and on. But last night, she really stuffed the stat sheet, Terrika. 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. This is the Breanna Stewart that we all know, and I'm not trying to suggest that she hasn't had good seasons the last couple of years, but it's been a while since her body, and she's been really healthy. And so I've just been impressed with what she's doing, and she's holding it down while Sabrina Ionescu is out.
I am completely unsurprised by any of this. Like, this is Stewie.
For sure. This is what she does, but I feel like
this is what she does. This is Stewie. Like, this is Stewie who helped lead her team to a championship in 2024. This is the same Stewie who won MVP in 2022, or 2023, one of those years. But it's like, this is what she does, right? And so people can't let 1 or 2 years, which maybe she wasn't healthy, or maybe she didn't play her best or have the best game, or maybe she wasn't leading the MVP conversation. People can't let that mean that Stewie is not her.
For
she is
sure.
absolutely still her. So I am not at all shocked or surprised that she's starting the season like this. I just hope that she's able to continue to stay healthy so she can continue to play the way that we have seen Stewie play for the last 16 years.
For sure. And I just want people to stop playing with her name. There's just one more player from the Liberty I want to give a shout out to. Well, actually two, but I'm not going to talk about Marina Johannes that much, but she's been off to a great start as well, has really been helping them. But I want to talk about their rookie, Astier, because you brought her up early, and she has been killing it, Terrika, in her last 2 games, okay? 16 points and 5 rebounds, 7 assists. She shot 6 of 10 from the field. Last night, when they played the Fire, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 of 14 from the field. She made 2 3-pointers. She is like excellent. You know what I'm saying? She's really holding down the fort with Sabrina Ionesco being out. And I know she was sort of like beating herself up for that 3-point violation, not the 3-point, the 3-second violation last night. But you know what? Look, kudos to the Liberty and their scouting staff, but they always find these players. Leonie Fibich, now Astier, like she's off to a great start.
Yeah, I got an opportunity to watch her in the Connecticut Sun New York preseason matchup. And I think more than what she actually produced on the stat sheet was impressive in how she hustled. Like, the girl was all over the court. She was all over everything, diving for loose balls, trying to make the plays defensively, hustling back in transition. Like, those are the things that you don't teach. And so when I hear her last night say, you know, I'm new to this league, I'm new to the W, I didn't know, I didn't realize, but guess what? I'm not going to make that mistake again. I believe her because I have seen her hustle and I've seen her do the little things over just the last week. So I do think that this is what she is going to be a serious issue for teams to have to handle when it comes to playing this New York Liberty squad.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to their rematch later this week between the Liberty and Portland. But again, 2 teams off to a good start. Whew. As the season progresses, this playoff race is going to become very interesting. Terrika Foster-Brasby, thank you so much for joining me today on the WNBA on NBC. To the people tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, the WNBA on NBC, so you do not miss out.